What's going on, guys? Ryan O'Toole back here again, giving you guys another review. I got a new release movie review for you guys today, and it's pretty much the only new movie that's big coming out in a while, and it's a sequel, and that is for Trolls World Tour, the sequel to Dreamworks' Trolls, which came out in 2016. And the cast of this movie has the same cast from the first one. You got Anna Kendrick back, Justin Timberlake, Kenan Thompson, Mary J. Blige, James Corden, and in this film you got some new voice talents in here, including Sam Rockwell. If you guys are new here, feel free to click that subscribe button and that bell notification icon for more reviews, reactions, rankings, and more movie content. After the events of the first film, Poppy is now queen of the Happy Trolls. Her and Branch are now really good friends now, and they discover that there are other trolls out there, and they also love music, but there's different styles of music they love: pop, funk, classical, country, and also rock. And there is this new villainous character named Barb who is stealing the trolls' different strings and attaching them to her guitar, and she basically wants to unite all of the music together into one specific genre and pretty much wipe out their other ones. Now, I didn't see the first Trolls movie back when it came out in 2016 in theaters. I watched it for the first time this week in preparation for Trolls World Tour since it was released into video on demand. And I thought the first Trolls movie all around wasn't that great. It was okay for what it was. It's a very typical kids movie for Dreamworks, not one of their best films all around. So going into the sequel, I didn't have much high anticipation for it. I was thinking it looks pretty generic and bland. Another kids adaptation film that's involving trolls, pretty much like a product placement animation film. And all around, I can say I definitely enjoyed this one more than the first one, since this film is definitely still for the kids, but there are some themes in here that I pretty much enjoyed more than the first one. I would say the original animated voice actors are still good in their roles. You know, Anna Kendrick as Poppy and Justin Timberlake as Branch. You know, they're the leaders of the original cast. And overall, they are better in this one. They have better chemistry. In the first movie, they didn't really get along since Branch was pretty much this unlikable character. He was always angry all the time, and he had kind of an arc. But in this one, they definitely have that relationship better and more fleshed out, I would say. Poppy is learning more how to be a queen now, since her father handed the ranks to her, and she is quickly discovering that being a queen is very tough. She has to make very tough decisions, and she makes a lot of mistakes in this movie that ended up costing her entire tribe. I like some of the new additions to the cast members better than the first one. I really like Sam Rockwell's addition to the film. First of all, when I was watching this movie, I was like, why is Sam Rockwell in this film? What made him, what drew him to do Trolls World Tour? And he didn't have much screen time in the film, but I would say out of all the new cast members, he was my favorite for sure. He gets introduced in this country music world as this cowboy, and he's pretty much doing an imitation of Clint Eastwood in a cowboy movie, and it's pretty hilarious. He has some really funny lines in the film. The villain in this movie, Barb, is pretty entertaining as well. She can be annoying at times, but the way she uses her motivations, it's kind of like a very kiddie version of Thanos. She is looking for these strings, which is kind of like the Infinity Stones. She collects them and puts them on her guitar so she can play the actual guitar. I think this is where we're going to go to my issues with the film. They recycle a lot of well-known songs in both of these movies. One of my biggest complaints with the first one is I wish there was more original songs. The only really good original song from the first film was Justin Timberlake's song, Can't Stop the Feeling. And I didn't feel that in this sequel. It pretty much did the same thing as the first one. Borrowed a lot of the classic pop songs we hear today, and then we have a really cool original song at the end. Pretty much the same recycled plot formula as the first one. I kind of wanted to see this one go on its own adventure. I would also say the movie also kind of lacks the humor just like the first one. It's pretty much kiddie forced humor that's thrown at you from a mile a second that just doesn't have that real remembrance to me like many other classic animated films. I would say this film doesn't really add much new or really creative or memorable things about it. It's pretty much a one watch, and I enjoyed myself watching it. I probably won't watch it again. I enjoyed it more than the first one, but yeah, I won't remember this one pretty much years to come. Before I give you guys my final overall thoughts on Trolls World Tour, if this is your first time checking out my channel and you enjoyed hearing my thoughts on the film, please hit that like button. It really helps with the algorithm, and consider clicking that subscribe button because I do tons of movie reviews and Blu-ray videos. I also have a podcast on my channel called the Fallen for Film Podcast, and I do tons of movie content on a weekly basis. I enjoyed Trolls World Tour for what it was, pretty much a fun kids movie. It is more enjoyable in my opinion than the first one in terms of the musical aspects they brought into here. I did have some issues with the film just like the first one, and it's pretty much the same issues I had with the first one, but I would say this one is more fun if you're into music. Definitely check the film out for yourself. On my rating scale, I'm going to give Trolls World Tour a C. There you have it, guys. That was my thoughts on Trolls World Tour. Have you guys seen Trolls World Tour yet on demand? And what were your thoughts on the film? Did you love it, think it was okay, or did you absolutely hate it? Let's discuss it down below in the comments. Next week's going to be a big week for me, guys. I got tons of videos coming out your guys' way next week. It's going to be a lot, so stay tuned for them. Thank you guys, as always, for watching this review. All my social media links are in the description below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.